Alrighty. Hello again, this is Rice Majestus, and we're back in Elite Dangerous Odyssey. And my camera seems to have shifted. What the heck is going on here? That's better. Okay. Well, my monitor doesn't look right. Yes, that's okay. Alrighty. So with that technical difficulty out of the way, let's get back to the community goal, get in game, and get things rolling. Hello, Tacita. Welcome back. Spinning, spinning, spinning. Come on. Give me an instance. There we go. Galaxy map. Galaxy map.
Here's the galaxy map, Commander.
See, it's going to be one of those nights. Okay. And before I jump over there, let's check one other thing. Oh, excuse me. I doubt there's any room in here, but might as well find out. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. Yeah, very full. Yep. Welcome back, Vagabond. Retract landing gear.
Landing gear retracted.
Hello, Mr. Mad Hatter. Welcome back. What the heck? I was all right just an hour ago.
Speed restrictions have been lifted. Take care out there, Commander.
But I figured I'd test it out right at the beginning, maybe sneak in there. Hello, Nemesis. Welcome back. The Earthling has stolen the Iridium Q-36 explosive space modulator. Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Approval granted. You are cleared on pad 2-4.
Yes, I did. I've been out of the habit of waxing because I've been wearing face masks for so long. And the face masks tend to rub the wax off.
1,000 meters from touchdown.
Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
So when I'm wearing face masks, especially during the work week where I'm going into work, I wear a mask all day long. Just makes no sense to wax up the stash, but I don't know. Maybe I should get back in the habit of doing it again. All right, still in the top 50. Didn't fall out of it. First of all, Mick, welcome back. Glad to have you along. And the reason I wear a mask, yeah, well, not only that, but it gums up the inside of the mask, makes it hard to breathe. And the reason I wear the mask is because COVID has twice almost killed me. So I'd rather put it off as long as possible getting it again. Galaxy map.
Here's the galaxy map, Commander.
my body tends to react to COVID by generating excessively large amounts of mucus in my lungs, and then it tries to expel the whole thing at once. So it has twice blocked my airway. The first time I didn't think I was going to make it. The second time I dislodged it a lot easier. But still, generating large amounts of mucus in a solid ball that gets stuck in your airway on the way out is generally life-threatening. I'd rather not do that again. The first time it generated a mucus ball the size of a baseball. And try and get a baseball out of your throat. It don't happen easily.
On your way out.
Or for those of you who don't have, let's not run into this guy, who don't have baseball around and instead have cricket, well, think it's about the same size as a cricket ball. Try and fit a cricket ball through your throat. Doesn't happen very easily. Retract landing gear.
Landing gear retracted.
You are now clear of station restrictions. Safe travels, Commander.
Supposedly this year's strain is much less lethal than last year's, so hopefully it will continue to become less and less severe, and then a couple years I won't have to worry about it anymore.
Cannot comply. Warning.
I would be better off with definitely would be better off with a respirator mask. Unfortunately, those are impractical. So I take what precautions I can. Minimize my human contact as much as possible, especially in places where air recirculates. And whenever I'm in contact with people, I generally will wear a mask. Yeah. Well, both times I picked mine up from work, so. People traveling between offices in those flying petri dishes that they call airplanes. It's a crazy illness where, some people have almost no problems with it at all, and then, you get people that have much worse problems than I did. Although technically I still haven't recovered. Because it had additional other effects on my body that I'm dealing with to this day. No, it didn't stop me from getting it, but hopefully it, Oh, sorry to hear that.
Hello, Commander. Please stay aware of other ships around this area.
Yeah, it was a weird disease. You know, you can never tell. I mean, the whole point of getting the shots isn't to prevent you from getting it. It won't. What the shots will do is reduce the duration and severity of it. That's their intent. It preconditions your body. Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Towards effectively fighting it. That's all it does. Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
The only ways you can prevent yourself from getting it are things that will prevent you from encountering it. Proper medical care helps as well. You know, vaccines are not preventative. People are completely sold on the fact that they are on the pseudo fact that they're preventatives, and they're not. The only point of any sort of vaccine, whether it's whether it's a DNA-based vaccine or an mRNA-based vaccine, is to precondition or prepare your body to respond when the infection happens. It does not prevent it. Its intent is to reduce the severity and duration of the symptoms. That's it. Well, it was certainly rushed, and its testing was, reasons, emergency response to a very lethal virus that was spreading. Did it help? Who knows? Should. And it depends. I mean, the Pfizer one was a traditional vaccine. It was only the Moderna one that was using the new mRNA technology. And that is also true. Every vaccine was experimental once. Galaxy map.
Here's the galaxy map, Commander.
Ship released. You have liftoff.
Retract landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
And the polio vaccine and the flu vaccine and all the other vaccines.
And you're clear. Take care out there, Commander.
Yeah. Well, given your job, I can believe that. And I'm not sure which of the two types of shots was more effective for this. I don't know. But like I said, the Pfizer one is a traditional vaccine. It's standard DNA-based vaccine generation. Absolutely standard. Sure, it was rushed. The Moderna one, well, that's a little different. And there is benefit to having both. Get the Moderna and the Pfizer, because then your system will recognize it two different ways. I thought the Pfizer was a standard DNA one. Yep. Hmm. Technically, if the mRNA mechanism works, it would be a much broader spectrum.
Hope we can be of service.
Broader spectrum immunity that it would provide. Does it work? I don't know. I understand the difference, and I understand it should work. Oops. Hello.
Are not authorized to access the
Yeah, so I'm not.
Keep the station compliance at all.
Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Approval granted. Head directly to docking bay 10.
That's absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. Normal vaccines still boost your immune system to recognize the incoming pathogen, and your immune system responds to the infection.
From touchdown.
There's no stopping it at the front door. That doesn't happen. The only way to stop it at the front door is to have a respirator type mask and not get an infection in the first place. Well, hello there.
Please restrict your speed while in and around this facility.
Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
A normal vaccine is still a shot. Its intention is conditioning your immune system to respond to an infection. It doesn't matter which technology it's using. It's still internal.
Landing confirmed. Pad restraints engaged.
They work in exactly the same way. They both are protein recognition patterns on your immune system. That's all it is protein recognition patterns. Whether it's DNA or mRNA, it doesn't matter. It's still protein recognition patterns. The only question is whether or not mRNA is a recognition. I don't know where you're getting your facts, but that's absolutely not true. It works in the same mechanisms. The absolute same mechanisms. It just recognizes a different protein sequence. That may be true. Well, we certainly don't know as much as we need to. Whether we know enough to make this type of vaccine, I don't know. Galaxy map.
Here's the galaxy map, Commander.
But in the end, the immune system works by protein recognition. What protein, as long as you're recognizing an exposed protein, it's going to work. The whole point of using mRNA is because it gives you a wider coverage on that protein recognition because it changes slower than DNA. Retract landing gear.
Landing gear retracted.
Has a much lower mutation rate, so it tends to provide a more stable vaccine. What is going on here?
Clear of the station. StarCon looks forward to receiving you again.
That I fully understand, Mr. Mad Hatter, and unfortunately, that is quite likely, although they haven't outright said it, the preponderance of evidence kind of shows that that was an engineered virus, or is an engineered virus. And they're pretty sure that they know how it got out into the wild. One of the workers, several of the workers at the Chinese institution that this came out of regularly sell the test subject meat to a local market. And, live virus got out. Yes. Exactly. And that's how every single vaccine works, including the standard. There were two types of COVID vaccine. One used mRNA and the other didn't. That I remember. And the one that did not use mRNA was a standard run-of-the-mill virus based on COVID. The mRNA ones used just a different protein.
Communications established. We are ready to receive docking requests.
Yeah, we certainly don't know what we should, as much it would be nice to know yet, but maybe someday. Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Access granted. Proceed to the activated pad, Commander.
Hello, Alan. Welcome to the channel. Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
No, if that virus had been engineered better, it would have killed us all.
Contact confirmed. Solid approach. What can we do for you, Commander?
No, and that was why they wanted to use the mRNA ones, is because they were afraid it would mutate too fast, because it was an engineered virus. Well, glad you found me. Galaxy map.
Here's the galaxy map, Commander.
I'm glad to have you along.
Clamp release confirmed.
Retract landing gear.
Landing gear retracted.
Frameshift drive charging.
And you're clear. Take care out there, Commander.
It happens with every vaccine to some extent. Each vaccine can handle a certain amount of genetic variation, but once it gets beyond that, well, it's kind of useless. And yep, and incompetence / corruption is how COVID got out of the lab. The employees have been selling the meat out of that lab for many decades. Just this time it managed to get out with live virus, which sucks. It sucked for everybody. So I used to play a game called Plague Inc. And after watching the CDC maps of virus spread on that, I had to stop playing Plague Inc. It became far too real. And it shows just how fragile life is across the planet. The game was amazing, a lot of fun, but after watching all of the CDC and other health system graphics, that it would basically, they had brought real graphics into the game, and when they started showing those same reports for COVID, I was just like, oh, I can't play this game anymore. It just hit home too hard. Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Approval granted. Landed at 02.
Yeah, I was before COVID. I was working my way through the achievements list on that game. Open. No, I already did that. Okay, great. Around the world in 30 days. Yeah, there's a lovely achievement. Deploy landing gear.
Warning.
Landing
You
gear
must
deployed.
deploy your landing gear. Touchdown successful. Ground crew dispatched.
Galaxy map.
Here's the galaxy map, Commander.
What was really scary about that game is how some of those mechanisms are quite real. Of course, they had some stuff like the vampirism plague, which was kind of bogus, but retract landing gear.
Landing gear retracted.
Yeah, I forgot my gear. But even to this day, I'm suffering from what that thing did. Whoops. what that stupid virus did to my body. It basically threw all of the control systems in my body completely out of whack. Whether it's blood pressure regulation or blood sugar content regulation or you name it. All of my systems are completely haywire. Will I ever get myself back to normal? Who knows? Maybe not. I'd wonder at those stats. That doesn't make sense. Well, maybe. The only way that could be something is if the deaths being due to COVID just predate the TB. That's all. Where some, the people dying from COVID would have died from TB anyway because TB was wrecking their systems. That's where I would think that would come into play. They just probably had both dying and just died of one before the other. Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
The joys of comorbidities. Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
I'm gonna overshoot.
Landing gear deployed.
Galaxy map.
Here's the galaxy map, Commander.
Ship released. You have liftoff.
Retract landing gear.
Landing gear retract.
Frameshift drive charging.
And you're clear. Flight control signing off.
I can actually see the numbers turning out that way based on how they track statistics, because they don't necessarily track comorbidities. So one of the things TB would do is reduce your immunoresponse, which would make you more susceptible to COVID, which means the COVID would kill you before the TB does. So then the deaths would be attributable to COVID and not to TB. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that's how the statistical systems would work if they're actually being killed by COVID prior to the TB killing them. Thing is, they have not eliminated TB from the environment. So that means it's still there, which means if people are not dying of it, but they're dying of COVID. Anyway, not for me to dig into, I guess.
Alpha November Golf. StarCom welcomes you to this facility, Commander. We'll put a landing pad on hold for your arrival.
Open hailing frequencies. Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Request approved. You are cleared on pad 09er.
Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing gear deployed.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Ship is down. Clear for system shutdown.
It's not surprising that's how they reported it during COVID, because COVID would have killed a large number of people who had TB, and COVID would have been the cause of death where TB was still being treated. I can see that happening. The way statistics work would have, or where the statistics tracking works, might have made that happen. But they certainly didn't eliminate it. Still in the top 50. All right. Galaxy map.
Here's the galaxy map, Commander.
Ship coupling disengaged. You may leave when ready.
Retract landing gear.
Landing gear retracted.
Frameshift drive charging.
Your way is clear. Starcon looks forward to receiving you again.
Uh-oh. Here we go loop-de-loo. Here we go loop-de-lie. Here we go loop-de-loo. All on a Saturday night. Executing the loop of Shay.
We welcome your business at this carrier, Commander. Please enjoy your stay with us.
Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Clearance granted. Move directly to the landing pad.
Scan detected.
Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing gear deployed.
Contact confirmed. Solid approach. What can we do for you, Commander?
Alrighty. How are we doing here? Actually, let's oh, I hit that stupid side button. No, go back to the right screen. New keyboard drives me crazy with its buttons on the side that do strange things. All right, so I have delivered 8,760 units. I still have 2,920 units available to deliver. More work to do. But we're out of time for this evening. So at this point, I'd like to thank everyone who came along for the ride this evening. It was great having you all along. In the stream chat, we have Tacita, Vagabond Querier, Mr. Mad Hatter, Nemesis, Mick Romantic. I know you got more. At least I think we got more. Alan Forbes. There we go. One more there. And if I miss your name, I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I'm quickly scrolling through the chat over the night, which was thankfully very active, and I really do appreciate everyone there. Okay, I think I got everyone. So thank you guys very much for joining me in the stream chat. It's great having you along as always. So at this point, we're going to leave things here. Pick it up again tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's all for now. This is Thrice Majestus, signing out.